and welcome to our video from Portugal today, and we're going to talk to you about getting a NIF number and also getting a bank account. We have been very successful in getting our NIF number, and we decided to not go down the route of getting it through a company but getting it through our solicitor. Some people get them through doing them themselves, and that's absolutely fine, but we just didn't feel we had the time to do that, so we had a recommendation of a solicitor in Castelo Branco, and we contacted her through email, and she told us what we needed to provide: a passport each and proof of address. So we did that, sent that all to her. She then requested the money, and then she then sent us the NIFs. It took about 5 weeks, but she said there had been some sort of hold up to do with the courts, so that was why it took so long, but that was fine. Now, I was expecting a card to come like your national insurance number card, or like a credit card that you can keep in your wallet. It wasn't that. It was a PDF. It was an A4 sheet of paper that just says NIF at the top and a load of details in Portuguese, and then it's just got this number, and that is all we got. So we then printed that off, and that is your NIF. That is your NIF number, that is your NIF. So after contacting her and asking her what was the first stage we needed to do, which she said was NIF, the second stage I said, is it the bank account now? Because you cannot do anything in Portugal without a NIF number.
Also, one thing with the about the NIFs, we looked at other companies as options for getting a NIF. They did seem very, very expensive.
Yeah.
Going through a solicitor was a lot cheaper.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, they do package deals, and they do things for getting your NIF and bank account all in one, but it is quite expensive compared to what we paid our solicitor. So in Portugal, you have to have a NIF before you do anything. You have to have a NIF before you open a bank account, and you have to have a NIF before you can buy property. So that was definitely the first step. And then we were coming over to Portugal this week, so we decided we would then open a bank account whilst we were over here. So we contacted her, and we wanted to meet face to face, just because I'd done lots of emails forward and back, and I just would have liked to meet her face to face, and being was here, it was a perfect opportunity, wasn't it? So we went to her office, which was really easy to find in the centre of Castelo Branco, and met her. We had a big list of questions to ask her, and one of which was, which we'll cover in another video. We'll also cover in another video all the other things that we think are on our list that we've got to do, but this video is just purely for NIF and bank account and how to get one. So the bank, she told us to go to Millennium Bank. She said that they speak good English in there and they would help us out, but banks shut mostly at 3 p.m. in Portugal, and it was already 3 p.m. by the time we had our appointment. So we decided we would come back the next day, which was today. So today we got up really early. That's another thing, you have to get there early. The bank's open at 8:30 in the morning. We got there at 9:15. It takes a long time, there's lots of queuing, lots of waiting, and if you go early, you've got more chance of being seen straight away. So we decided to go today, got up really early, went in, and we went straight in. There was no queue. There was one other guy being seen, and then the man came out, a lovely man called Luis, who said he didn't speak very good English, but his English was way better than our Portuguese, so he was absolutely brilliant. It does take a long time. It is a long process. It took us about 2.5 hours in total. but we did it. We got it all done. He got it all done for us. So what you need for a Portuguese bank account is you have to have proof of your NIF, passports. You have to have, hang on, I just need to look at my notes. So this is what our solicitor told us to bring. NIF's bank statements. So we did 3 months each of our bank statements and took those, because I didn't want to get there and then say, oh, we've only got 2 months, we need 3. It was today or not at all, so we had to make sure we brought everything. So we did 3 months. They may accept 1 month or whatever, but we just wanted to be on the safe side. So 3 months of bank statements each, and we had 3 months of pay slips each. We also had a P60 each, which he definitely used. And then proof of address, so that can be a utility bill or something like that. The utility bills we took were our water rates bill, which is annual, and we also took our council tax bill annual. There's a little bit of a tricky moment where he couldn't quite grasp that it said March on it, 2022, but I tried to explain that it is an annual one, and at the bottom it said all the other months. So
they still wouldn't accept it, would they?
No, so they used our bank statements.
The bank statements we had also had the address on as well.
So I would say, rather than a utility bill that is an annual one, try and get something that's a monthly one that you've got 3 months of, say a phone or, I don't know, Sky, Virgin, whatever.
It needs to be anything with a very current date. Yeah,
because they're only using it for proof of address, aren't they? So, and that was all we needed. It's a long process, and obviously you've got the language barrier as well, which is, he was amazing though, absolutely amazing. I was an absolute nervous wreck, as usual.
We were able to sort of bridge the gaps with language using Google Translate.
Oh yeah.
Although Google Translate isn't exactly correct for European Portuguese, it's often close enough just to get the point across.
Yeah, and he would just get to a sticking point and then type on the Google Translate, and then we would read it, and then all would become clear. 9 times out of 10 what he was trying to say, we understood. So it all went through, and it all went through fine. And then, not like in the UK, he actually gave us a card each. Oh, they ask you, do you want 1 card or 2? Do you want it in a joint account or not? So we went for a joint account, but with 2 cards. He was fine with that. He said that's quite normal. And he then gave us 2 cards and 2 PIN numbers, which we said doesn't happen in the UK. Usually the card comes in 10 days and the PIN comes differently in the post, and then you have to go to the cash point machine and change it all over. Well, anyway, he goes with you to the cash point multi-banco, which is literally is still in the same building, and he helps you put your card in, put the PIN in that's been given, then redo the PIN to something that you want. He does that, he makes sure that's okay, and then you transfer the money that he tells you to like put in there for a balance, to have a balance in your account. He then shows you how you can check your balance, and then he then gets you to set up the Millennium Bank app, so you can then go straight on your app and watch your balance go from 0 to what it was. Before he lets you go, he makes sure that's all up and running, so you've got your app, you've deposited your money, and also he gives you a printout of what would be in the UK: sort code, account number, address of the bank. it's different in Portugal. It's IBAN and something else, but it's the piece of paper that you need. I've got one, Harry's got one, so that we can set up direct debits or standing orders or whatever to come from our UK bank to our Portuguese. And then, so all of that we got in there at 9:15 and we got out at about 10 to 12, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, and it was very, very simple. He was absolutely amazing. I asked for his name so that I could tell you guys on here. And he was called Luis from
Luis.
Millennium BP. Is it BCP? Oh, Millennium. So his name was Luis from Millennium Bank in Castelo Branco. And he is who our solicitor recommended. So yeah, so it's a lot easier to do than we thought it was, that we've read about people that have struggled doing it. I think if you get all your documents in order and you go early and you go to somewhere that can speak English, it's a bit of a cop-out, but it is what it is when you're first starting out and you don't know the language. You'll be absolutely fine. So, and
definitely get there early. We've got there early enough that we've got served straight away.
Yeah.
Within 10 minutes of us being there, there must have been 5 or 6 people waiting.
Yeah.
And there, at that time there was only 2 people on serving people.
Yeah.
So
and also they shut at 12 till, is it 1 till 2 or 12 till 1?
Yeah, for lunch.
But yeah, they shut for an hour. So that's good. Yeah, definitely get in early, which is what other people on YouTube said, which we took note of. So thank you to those that said that. That's helped us. So yeah, we hope you find this really helpful. And
so thanks for watching. If this has been at all useful, then please like, share, comment. If you ask us a question, you put in the comments and we'll try and answer it if we know the answer.
Best we can, yeah. So thanks very much
Thank you very much for watching.
And ciao for now.
Ciao for now.